Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled, You're in My Seat. Very often a person who's a member of a shul walks into shul. A few minutes after starting time, he finds there's someone in the seat. Someone is in a seat, a guest. He doesn't know that it's his seat, and he's sitting in a seat. And the member goes over and says, You're in my seat. Please move to another seat. Sometimes he could say it in a very nice, sweet, pleasant way. He says, would you mind just moving over one? Sometimes it's more of a tougher approach. You're in my seat. And sometimes somewhere in the middle. The question is, from a purely halachic standpoint, then we'll analyze a pragmatic standpoint. A halachic standpoint, what does halacha say? Many of us are familiar with the Gemara in Brachot Davav, page 6 in Brachot, where it says you should be like a Talmid, a student of Avram Avinu, where he had a set place for his davening. When he davened, he had a set place where he went to, and that was a proper way to approach davening. It's not haphazard, it's set. You're not seeing a new angle each time. You know the surroundings. That's the best way to daven. It makes sense from a logical standpoint, and we're learning from Avram Avinu. It's brought down in the Shulchan Aruch Or Chaim Siman Tzadi Sif Yotet, and we really have to read each word of the seif, and there's a lot to learn from it. So the Shulchan Aruch writes in Yotet, Yigva makom letfilato, set a place for your tfilah. Now, what does makom mean? A place. So the Mishnah Berurah brings down, the commentaries say, within Daled Amot, 6 feet, 2 meters. That's all considered your makom, which means if someone is in your seat and you move to the seat next to that seat, you are in your makom of tfilah. Then it says, Yekva makom litfilato. What's tfilah? So usually in the Gemara Brachot and in the Shulchan Aruch, when it says tfilah, we mean Shmona Esrei. You have to have a set place for Shmona Esrei. The Tosafot Rabbi Yonah, Talmidei Rabbi Yonah say that even Psuk Dezim and other parts of davening, it is meritorious to have a set seat for the beginning of davening. But in terms of din, the set place really refers to Shmona Esrei. So it says, Yekva makom, you have to have a place, and within Daled Amot, 6 feet is considered one place for your tefillah, Shmona Esrei. Shelo yishaneu im lo letzorech. Don't change it. Don't change the place. Keep your set place unless there's a tzorech, unless there's a need. And then he goes on to say, Ve'ein da b'mashik balo bebeit knesset letpaleh. No, but I have one set shul that I daven. It doesn't matter within the shul where I daven. No. Shulchan Aruch writes, no, even though you're always in a set shul, that's not enough to have a set place in that shul. Why is he saying that? Because the Aruch HaShulchan brings down those who maintain that as long as you have a set shul you go to every day, you don't even need to have the same place, because your shul is a set shul. Shulchan Aruch says, no, we don't hold that way. So you put this together, what does it mean? That you should have a set seat for davening, for Shachar, Mincha, Marav. Let's say you're in one shul for Shacharit, another shul for Marav. You're in your office as a minyan for Mincha. Wherever you are for each tefillah, have a set seat. That's what the poskim say. But now what happens if there's an aberration where someone is sitting in your seat? So you want to fulfill the mitzvah of having your set seat. But the Shulchan Aruch already gives us some important information. Mako means within Daled Amot, so you can have your set seat by sitting next to your set seat on one side, the other side, in back or in front. And imlo letzorech, if there's not a tzorech, then you should stay in your set seat. What if there's a tzorech, a need? So move to another seat, and you will not have your set seat for this morning's davening. And for Shabbat morning, you come to your seat, and someone's there. So there's a tzorech to not be in your seat. If you think it's going to be insulting, upsetting, turn the person off from Judaism, turn him off from this specific shul. So that could all be defined as a tzorech. So you put everything together. Let's take a case. You walk into the shul. Someone's in your seat. You don't know who he is. Is he a new? Is he Baal Tshuva? Is he someone who's exploring Judaism? anything could be. You don't know. If there's seats right next to your seat, so you could sit in one of those, and you have your makom kavui, your set seat. Of course, we're taking the premise that you're only asking him to move because you want to fulfill the mitzvah. If it's just, no one belongs to my seat because it's mine, and you're not coming from a halachic standpoint, then that's also something one must think about. But let's assume, from a halachic standpoint, I want my set seat. So you can have your halachically set seat by being in front, on the left side, the back side, the right side, or right behind. If no seats are not available, so then if you're really, really sweet and warm, and you think you could talk to him in a way where, say, oh, it's so happy to have you in the shul. There's an empty seat right there. I really like being over here, and would you mind being in that seat? If you really think that you could finesse them, and that he could be comfortable moving, and you could be in your seat, that might be a possibility. But if there's a suffix and you're not so sure, or if you know, no, this is not your approach, you're not so sweet and warm, and what you've done till now is simply say, you're in my seat, please get out. If that's what you're going to do, that's what you've done till now, well, you're not fulfilling the mitzvah of kviyat makom. We learned to have a set seat from Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu left Hashem in order to do hachanasis orchin, in order to make other people feel good and loved. So you're going to go ahead and make someone feel bad, so you can have your set seat. When the Shulchan Aruch openly says that if there's a tzorach or any kind of a need, then you give up. You're mevater. You give up on your set seat. So taking the halach into account and the commentaries into account, it would seem that if someone is in your seat, you should sit next to your seat if that's available. And if not, move to another place. Give up your mitzvah of yikva makom l'tfilah for that one davening. And then for the next davening, you resume. And if this happens frequently, so after davening, not on the spot, at the heat of the moment, when you walk in and someone's in your seat and you're all upset. Not at that time. When davening is over, discuss it with the rabbi, the chairman, discuss it maybe with the person himself, if that's possible, b'dachenom, in a sweet and kind manner. And this might be a classic example of bitulah hikiyuma, that by going in and giving up your set seat, you're fulfilling a great mitzvah of achnasas orchin, making a person feel welcome to shul, where you could say, wow, this is nice. That was a really beautiful religious experience in the shul. People were so friendly, so warm, so loving. I want to go to shul again. I want to daven again. I want to go to this shul again. I want to be actively involved in this shul. It was so beautiful and warm. So we should really think through the sugya, the topic, properly, and approach it with wisdom and kindness, compassion, and love. Shabbat Shalom.